Hey guys, it's Miss Tori with Wow Thanks Storytime. Today we're going to be reading The Power of Henry's Imagination. Before we do, we're going to start out with the hand washing song. So everybody get your hands out. Tops and bottoms, in between. Scrub them all together, now they're clean, squeaky clean. Tops and bottoms, in between. Scrub them all together, now they're clean, squeaky clean. All right, now we're going to do If You're Happy and You Know It. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do a three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do a three. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray! The Power of Henry's Imagination. Henry's favorite toy was a rabbit called Raspberry. Raspberry was white with floppy silver ears and a red nose that looked just like a raspberry. Sometimes Henry was sure that raspberries smelled like raspberries too. Henry and Raspberry had been together a very, very long time. 5 years, 3 months, and 11.5 days to be exact. Grandpa had given Raspberry to Henry the day Henry was born, knowing they would have many adventures. Everyone could see how much Henry loved Raspberry. From dawn until dusk, they did everything together. One morning, Henry decided to take Raspberry to the veggie patch to teach him how to dig up carrots. But Henry couldn't find Raspberry. Henry looked for Raspberry in all the usual places, like underneath Grandpa, on top of the lamp, and inside pillowcases. But Raspberry wasn't anywhere. Then Henry turned his whole bedroom upside down, but even that did not unearth Raspberry. Henry was starting to feel worried. Henry got his mom and dad to help him search the whole house for Raspberry. By the time they finished, the place was a huge mess, and they still hadn't found Raspberry. With tears sliding down his cheeks, Henry went to Grandpa, who was sitting in his favorite armchair reading one of his favorite books. "Grandpa, can you please help me find Raspberry? I've looked everywhere." Grandpa put down his book, pushed his glasses down his nose, and leaned forward. "Henry," Grandpa said in his warm, knowledgeable voice, "if you've looked everywhere, then there's only one thing left to do. You must imagine that you have Raspberry back." "Imagine I have Raspberry back?" Henry repeated, wiping away a tear with the back of his hand. "Yes, Henry, it's very simple. You just have to imagine that Raspberry is with you in this moment." Then Grandpa sat down and started reading his book again. He didn't say another word. Since Grandpa knew more than anyone else who had ever lived, Henry decided the best thing to do was follow his advice. And so Henry began to imagine. When Mom called him for lunch, Henry imagined that he and Raspberry were explorers climbing a mountain. They got caught in a terrible storm and found shelter in a cave. Raspberry had to cook a can of beans for them to eat. When Dad sent him outside to play, Henry imagined that he and Raspberry were pirates on a ship full of rare treasures steering their cargo through the crocodile-filled sea. When he went in for dinner, Henry imagined that he and Raspberry were astronauts sent into space in their flying saucepan to count all the stars in the universe. When he went to get ready for bed that night, Henry imagined that he and Raspberry were dragon catchers walking silently through the forest as they searched for the mysterious purple dragon. Henry had so much fun imagining his many adventures with Raspberry that he completely forgot Raspberry was lost in the real world. In fact, when Henry went to bed that night, he fell asleep as quickly as he did when Raspberry was in his arms. Later that night, Grandpa heard a knock at the door. It was Malcolm the mailman, and he was holding Raspberry. "I found him lying on the path," said Malcolm. "I would have missed him if it weren't for his silver ears shining in the moonlight." "Well, well, well, imagine that," Grandpa said with a wink. "Imagine that."